When the iPhone launched in 2007, few could have predicted the impact it would have on education. One of the most significant developments in education has been the arrival of language learning apps. Regardless of the device you use, one of the main drivers in the mobile learning revolution is the sheer number of apps available from different app stores. In May 2013, the number of apps downloaded from the iTunes App Store alone reached 50 billion. The wealth of options is particularly notable for language apps. The most famous language learning apps are probably Duolingo and Busuu, but there are plenty more to choose from because the nature of smartphones makes them ideal for absorbing language and honing language skills. Smartphones speak your language. Digital language learning has been popular for years, but the features of smartphones are fueling a shift away from the traditional listen and reply CDs of the past. Responsive touchscreens, enhanced text entry, high-quality image, audio, and video recording, editing, and sharing, voice recognition, storage, connectivity, and GPS all bring together the multi-sensory experience that makes for effective language acquisition. The mix of different media and the varied ways in which information can be presented makes using apps for language learning much more appealing than traditional textbooks or the activities that used to be carried out in language labs, which often involved old-fashioned video and audio recordings, newspapers, dictionaries, and other resources. What's more, you're not exposed to others if you make a mistake, so you feel more comfortable trying tasks as many times as you like until you get them right. The game-like features that make using apps fun, and the fact that you don't need to spend hours in a formal setting, also help. You can do 5 minutes of quick practice while commuting or even in the loo. Duolingo and other apps. Duolingo is a completely free service that makes extensive use of gamification and offers a very comprehensive language learning system. Activities are varied and include translation, writing, reading, listening, and recording, which help users develop several skills in a fun way. They are presented as short learning chunks, which learners can take in a few minutes of spare time. Busuu is a commercial provider and offers apps in several languages, clearly labeled by levels following the common European framework of reference for languages. There are free taster and premium packages that include explanations, comprehension and writing activities, and self-testing. Other apps designed for language learning include dictionaries and phrasebooks, which can be relatively expensive in terms of app prices but can be integrated into other apps, such as Kindle, so that the dictionary function works when reading foreign language texts. Some of these include pronunciation guides. There are also grammar drilling apps, some of which are provided by big names in language learning, like Collins or the British Council. These are perfect for students who want to do grammar exercises or practice verb conjugations, for example. For writing skills, there are spelling apps and also character writing apps for languages such as Japanese or Chinese, as well as dictionaries that include pronunciation guides. Other apps, such as Macmillan Sounds, are specifically designed for learning phonetics. There are even apps that students can use to create their own flashcards to help them memorize vocabulary, such as Quizlet. Adapt your app. The immense variety out there also means that people wanting to learn a language can use apps that aren't even aimed at teaching languages to pick up words and phrases. An app produced for native speakers could be just as beneficial as a language learning app, even if it is more of a challenge to use. Newspaper or magazine subscriptions in the foreign language and word processors set in the language can help with reading and writing, while social media apps can be used to connect with speakers of other languages. Apps such as Skype or FaceTime will allow learners to have conversations in the language they're learning, provided they know some native speakers or fellow students. Other apps, such as Blackboard Collaborate, can provide meeting places for several students to get together and practice the language they're learning. Some language learning apps, such as Duolingo, provide feedback from native speakers, which can be very useful to learners as well. What makes a good app? The critical success factors for language learning apps are good pedagogy, technology, and design. Whereas some apps have an attractive design, they may lack pedagogically sound principles behind that design. In fact, Many language learning apps use outdated pedagogical principles such as listen and repeat or pure grammar drilling without context. Even these, however, can be very useful for focused practice. It is unlikely that one app will provide all the solutions a student needs for language learning, but smartphones and tablets can store many different apps for different purposes. This is the best thing that apps can bring, a portable solution to every learning style, which can suit different language learning skill requirements: grammar, vocabulary, reading, listening, writing, or speaking. A combination of apps, app mashing, that cover the different skills will help language learners engage anytime, anywhere, and at any pace, with a variety of teaching styles, from repetitive grammar drills to gamified all-in-one solutions. Only the learners know which ones work for them. It is up to them to download, try, and figure out which is best for their needs.